31 days, 31 seeds, encouraging lives by sowing seeds of hope and determination. Day 22. Since we're on the week of love, it had me thinking that I know at one time there was a scientific study done on the heart. They were able to prove that the heart puts off magnetic energy. The heart's magnetic energy field goes out 3 feet. So if you're standing within 3 feet of someone else, your heart energy, the magnetism of your heart, is literally mingling. Science has proven when you are in the midst of people and your heart energy is mingling, the dominant energy will dominate the room. We can literally share energy from heart to heart. And if someone has sad heart energy, that can also then transfer to us. We can feel that sad heart energy. Sometimes we can be confused and think it's our own heart energy. Thinking about how we touch each other with our heart energy, and we do not even realize it, it then made me think of a little young man whose name was Matty Stepanek. I don't know if any of you would remember him. It's been quite some time now. Speaking of heart energy today, I thought he would be the perfect topic. Matty Stepanek, this little boy, wrote a book called Matty's Heart Songs. It was a book of poetry. This little man ended up making it to about 14 years old, but he was so much wiser than his years. Matty would always say, because his body was being thrown through the terrors of a horrible disease, that even though he loved to write feverishly, he would bleed from his fingertips when he would write. He would bleed from his fingertips when he would type on the keyboard to type his poetry. It meant everything to him, and he wanted everyone in the world to understand heart energy and his heart song. He had said, and I'm going to read a quote, he feels he is both living and dying at the same time. He wanted the entire world to understand his heart songs. He said that a heart song doesn't need to be a song. It can be your message. It can be your feeling. He said some people call it a conscience, but even though that's not what it really is, he just didn't quite know the word for it. So he coined it heart song. It's what you feel that you need. You feel your heart is beating because of it, and it wants to live. I have seen a lot of different messages lately about suicide and people talking about it. I have expressed before that my mother had tried it twice, so I've been there with that. And I have over 15 friends who have succeeded with committing suicide. I know there are numerous reasons for feeling that way. My mother fought with depression the majority of her life. One of my really good friends who committed suicide did it because he had deteriorating spine, and the doctor said there was nothing more he could do, and one day he would just wake up paralyzed, and he was in excruciating pain every day. He saw no way out but to take himself out. I have been through extreme chronic pain, so I have been on the edge where I understand why someone in such pain would think to do that with themselves. I understand why my friend did it. I wish he hadn't. I can completely understand why he did. With today's seed being about heart songs and about the way we touch each other's heart, I just wanted to speak to anyone out there who may be in the throes of depression or feeling like you just want to end it. And again, there are an array of reasons, and I'm not a psychologist. There may be reasons that I cannot understand. What I do understand is there's always hope tomorrow. I ask, had you accomplished what you had set out to do, and you were no longer here, what would you think about that? I wouldn't have realized all the things I was going to miss. I wouldn't have realized all the love that was in store for me. I wouldn't have realized how complete and full I could have really felt. Because in that moment, I felt empty. In that moment, I was alone. In that moment, I was hurting more than anyone could understand or even ask. In that moment, I felt no one heard me. No one saw me. I wasn't important. I wasn't worthy, and I just didn't matter. In that moment, moments change. You can be in the darkest moment where you're just really putting yourself down and you're feeling like there's just no light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe you feel like that for days or weeks or months even. My chronic pain was over about 2 years. I understand chronic issues, chronic sadness, chronic depression. What I want you to understand is it won't always be this way. If you can hang on one more moment, if you can reach out, If you're someone who's not feeling this way, but you look around and you notice a friend isn't being the same or they're not as vibrant, pay attention to the people around you, please. I know we race around from one thing to the next, and we have to be on time for our jobs, and we have to make our paycheck, and we have to pay our bills or we'll lose our house, and we have to put all this gas in our car. More important than that are people. And the people around you. And the reason we work a job, and the reason we have a home, and the reason we have cars is so we can relate to each other and be around each other and have the time to be with each other. The job and the cars is not the end-all be-all. The whole point of this life is living in love and enjoying each other and encouraging each other. So if you are a happy person, spread that happiness, even if it's hard. If you're that sad person who's just feeling like it's over, it's done, don't believe it. It's a lie. If you just hold on, you will be amazed at the change your life can have. You just need to give it a chance. For seed 22, I feel it deeply in my heart. If you are feeling your heart within your chest, feel it. If your heart is beating, your heart loves you and it wants you to live. If you feel like right now you can't live for yourself, live for your heart, because it's still beating. It wants to live. It wants to love. And it wants to thrive. Seed 22, let your heart live and thrive. I truly do love you. I truly want you to understand how to deeply love yourself. I will see you tomorrow for seed 23.